Hey guys, welcome to our review of Kamen Rider Saber, episode 18. As always, I'm your host, the Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have...
Cinder Blaze.
Aerosol.
Great, thanks guys. Anyway, we got done watching this episode yesterday so that you guys could comment on the episode and we'll talk about it. But before your guys' comments, let's dive into our thoughts. And I thought... you're not supposed to be seeing the images yet. It was fine. There's something that happened at the end of it that made me think that I still am trying to grapple with if I think it's a good thing or not. Where the sword dude basically said, "Hey, yeah, anyway, if I struck that person down, the book would have flown out and it would have been fine." And then he's just like, what? And I don't know if addressing it and making it so that our main character is extra stupid was enjoyable for me, or if that's poor writing, or if it's like, oh yeah, we are still doing unnecessary conflict. We are still setting up unnecessary conflict.
Yeah. I don't know if that part necessarily makes Toma look stupid. I'll get to the part that I think does.
Sure.
But, like, I don't know. I don't remember Sword Dude ever specifying that he would revert the human back to normal if he cut her down.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like that's more on him. I also think that this is just the writer's way of being like, look, we can't have Toma letting the monster run wild week after week after week just to get the book completed, just to cut it apart at the end.
Right.
Which is the part that I think he was really stupid on.
Yeah.
His plan was just, well, let her get taken over, and then I'll cut the book and see what happens.
Like, how did they... Maybe this was explained before, but, like, he saw the sword dude playing with a toaster, and then he was like, yes, the monster must be able to do that. It must be able to operate like a toaster. It's not going to consume the physical form and just become that... No. It's going to pop out first. Just to give me an opportunity.
The book would contain the woman, right?
Of
course it would. The book is the toast and the woman is the butter on the toast.
I mean...
Yeah, you put the butter on the toast before you put it in the toaster. That's just how you toast things.
Well, it's bread before it goes in the toaster, Corey.
Oh, excuse me. I don't know. I'm not up on my toast knowledge.
Oh, man. Just imagine if, like, it got stuck in the toaster and, like, the bread just burnt and, like, lit the entire toaster on fire. Like, what conclusion would we come to then? Like, oh, shit, we're fucked. Like, there's actually no solution. Oh, wait. Last episode, he kicked her and the book went flying out. Like, why not just... Why not just break it? Why not just do that again? Like, I know, like, man, I might be hurting her, but, like, if she loses herself permanently, well,
there won't be a her to hurt.
Yeah. I felt like that conclusion was so dumb. Like, this is like, it felt like the forced drama that this current arc of Saber's kind of relying on. Yeah. And, like, it even reared its head with Rintaro, and come on, I like the dude, but don't get him roped up in this bullshit, because, like, his character is desperately trying to not be part of that bullshit, but then, like, the writer's just like, nah, like, you're gonna be there, you're gonna listen to Toma say, that's a human, I don't want to hurt it, and you're gonna be like, oh, he's trying to hurt a monster, or he's trying to save a monster. It was like 10 seconds and he came to that conclusion. Like, are you serious? Like, it's stuff like that that's just... It gets on my nerves. Especially when they do it to a character like this. And
there was no moment of like, oh, well, why would he say that it's a human? It was just straight to you're siding with them. No, he's destroyed plenty. You've been there with him when he has.
You saw it.
You guys are supposed to have this bond, and yet you can't take his. You can't even question why he would suddenly be like, "Hey, maybe you shouldn't be doing this. This is a bad idea."
I mean, when I almost said Ikazuchi, when Espada immediately walked back on that sword promise, he was like, all right, you know what, everything's off the board, I'm done. It's really throwing me off that, because like we have not seen why, like, we're not given a good enough reason as to why everyone else is so devoted to the southern base and all of this. I get that they've been there for a while and they have tenure there, and Toma is this new dude, but like we haven't seen that. You can't just imply it and then, I don't know, just use it against us.
Yeah.
The only one I'm a little okay with, even though I feel like they're taking it a little too far with some of his dialogue, is Kenzan. And that's just because he's grief stricken.
Yeah.
Like I get where he's coming from, where he's like, wait, he's siding with the guy who killed our friend. I kind of get that, but yeah, the other two, it's like, well, why? I was okay when Slash was like, maybe we should go talk to him, and then they didn't listen to him, and they immediately turned on him.
Yeah, I mean, like, what sucks the most is that you might have an interesting setup here, but then you don't have the characters to use that setting with. Like, you have to like take the characters out of their typical characterization, and just none of them work anymore. Like with this new plot, I hope like next episode it looks like, ooh, Saber versus Slash, but I guess it'll be something like, oh, they fought. That means Toma must be right. And then one by one the team will come back to Toma's side. I don't know.
Also, does the southern base actually function? Like, it's so empty. It's just a room full of chairs.
Yeah, and it's like they've got no power. They've got yeah, I mean, they barely have any books. They don't even have the big books. How are you going to get the big knowledge without the big books?
Yeah.
Also, wait, why is Toma hanging out at the northern base? Wouldn't they be occupying at least part of it? Like, wouldn't they not? Like,
my thought was like, since the door is attached to his bookstore, but they're the ones who put that there.
Yeah.
So why would they not be able to move it?
Yeah, I mean, like, Psycho probably has like a way to enter it regardless, so they probably just gave up.
Oh, also, I'm docking point. I don't give this this show any sort of point structure, but I am docking points for having that dude have sex with that piano. That was not okay. Never do that again. I don't want to see that. No, you don't remember?
You see, I forgot the context that you're referring to, so that just sounds weird.
Right. Yeah, I thought you were talking about Psycho, not the villain who shops at the Baby Gap.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I know exactly what you're referring to.
Yeah,
I can't believe I forgot that.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't sound crazy, right?
No, you are forgiven.
Thank you.
Yo, Psycho's shadow form looked a lot better this episode when it has like an actual suit actor to go with it.
Yeah.
I actually do think it's an interesting idea. Especially when we're seeing like all of the enemy's attacks just phase through it.
Yeah.
But, Yeah,
it's like a literal smoke
the
screen.
CG last week was not.
It was not there.
Yeah. And then we kind of like see like the face of the sword like always kind of like face the enemy because he's like talking to him that way.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, that's a really neat touch. So
yeah, that's a very Mabushina puppeteering thing to do.
yeah, but it works that way, you know.
Yeah, yeah. All right, guys. Did we have anything else we wanted to say before we dove into comments?
Yeah, Psycho's whole turn for like siding with Toma, like, oh, I guess the people make the world kind of bullshit. I personally did not understand like how that even happened. Like, what world
Yeah.
were you trying to say before? And like, why? If it wasn't the one filled with people, then like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Well,
people
threw
didn't
away
exist 1,000 years ago.
He threw away his humanity to become Sword. So maybe he forgot along the way? I don't know, man.
So all he knows how to do is defeat the Megids. Like, why is he defeating them in the first place? Is he not allowed to think that extra step?
Well, becoming Sword makes you very sleepy.
That's
Plus, he has that side gig delivering Postmates to Tassel.
That's true. He already does not like other human beings because he delivers with Postmates. Nobody tips. It's really a mess. California really screwed it up. Anyway, are we ready to hop into some comments?
Sure.
All right. Our first comment comes from Double the Unknown, who says, "This episode was decent. The only part I can truly say I disliked is the stupidity of the Sword of Logos members. They must be really arrogant if the main reason they are fighting Toma is that they think it's impossible for there to be a traitor in the organization." That is true. I do not like that at all. Also, the Sword of Logos was created to fight the Megiddo. Shouldn't they also know about the technique that can turn humans into Megiddo the way Yuri does? So far, I'm liking Yuri as he isn't the typical antagonistic character. We get to see that new second quarter henshin device. Did I skip a line? So far, I'm liking Yuri as he isn't the typical antagonistic character. We get to see... Oh, we get to sell the new second quarter henshin device. Rintaro also isn't your typical edgy secondary rider, although Kento kind of took that spot. So I guess maybe Toei or Bandai wanted to push for different characteristics from important riders. Hopefully this quarrel ends soon and isn't drawn out to last an entire arc. There are no new toys to sell for the entirety of January, so the writers have no excuses now. Absolutely. This is the part where they should be thriving and, like, working with the story they have. And now we're thrown into this new plot where they don't know what to do with their characters.
I mean, they're establishing a better status quo. Now they don't have to deal with the bullshit of, oh, but they're human. How can I not hurt them and shit? You know, like now you have a sword that solves that issue.
Hold on.
What?
This was supposed to be the better status quo. Now we are emotionally linked to the characters or to the people that they have to take down each week.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But you know, having that sword walks that back a little bit.
Who cares? Just get the episode done with. Repair the existing relationships.
I love.
Like
I love how it's like, okay, make it so that the episode lasts less time, and now I'm happier.
I mean, if Tom was as enthusiastic as he is to saving people, like I'm just imagining him just like whipping out Psycho. Like they're not even like fully henchened into the Megid, and he's already attempting to slash them. Just you know, just for their sake. It might work, it might not, but we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Next comment comes from K-John, who says, "Don't the northern base guys find it weird that there's no one else at the southern base besides them and Reika? where are the southern-based swordsmen? That's true.
Yeah,
We were told, huh?
I said that's a good point.
Yeah. We were told that they exist. Um, I mean, obviously, do not sell me more toys or from the show. But if it's the Soto blog selling me more toys, I'm absolutely fine with that. I just think it's really weird. So I agree with you there. I'm liking Yuri so far. He's playing the second writer role pretty well. While Rintaro is not on Toma's side, his backstory is also interesting. Hope we'll get to see what happened that made him decide to become a sword. The southern base trying to capture him makes me think that at some point in the future he will indeed be captured by Reika, and he might even die as a result, since Reika is definitely trying to take the sword's power. Okay, I don't know. That's an interesting idea. I don't know what her whole deal is, and like my investment in the show is waning. So,
Yeah. I feel
next
like she's a
comment.
red herring, though. She might actually not be the
She
traitor,
she
despite her
feels
doing the most
too
dubious shit every week. You know?
yeah. She feels too overtly evil to
Yeah.
actually be the evil one. I agree. Next comment comes from Rajik Rasul, who says, "So far so good. I like Yuri. He's an interesting character. He's taking the secondary writer position better than Rintaro. Man, the sort of logos is not right in the head. Then need to fix themselves up before it's too late, or else the relationship between them is too broken to fix."
Man, you knew what that was trying to say. You don't have to like butcher it.
No, hold on.
Alright. What I mean, for their relationship,
Oh,
like I'm kind of like thinking back on it, and for Slash and Buster, they really didn't care too much about like the last generation. You know, like they were just kind of like so out of the loop with things apparently. So like I don't really expect too much of like from them being attached to like this new generation. Oh,
what?
I thought you froze.
No, I'm
All
good.
right. Yeah.
Hello. All right, cool. Next, we have a comment from Ryu Gunno, who says, "Another decent episode. I like what we got from it. Good to know that Legiel can play the piano. Now we just need the other members of the boy band to show off their musical talent. I'm not 100% sure if I like Yuri going like, if you use me, you can separate the Megid from the human. Uh, at the end, even though a big part of me had the suspicion that's what they do, I mean, it was kind of funny, and it makes more sense than waiting for the book to be complete and destroy it last second. I find it kind of interesting that Rintaro seems to have such a short temper. Not gonna lie, when he thought Toma sided with the Megiddo, I was like, oh boy, more misunderstandings. Yay, again. I like this episode, and I wouldn't call it bad.
I mean, it was a
Oh, was
decent
that it?
episode, but like so many bad things happened in it.
Hold on, then what do you quantify as a good or bad episode?
I still enjoyed it, but like the plot was just kind of like bad.
Did you enjoy watching it, or did you enjoy dunking on it? That's two
Both.
different things.
Both. And if I enjoyed dunking on it, then like if I enjoyed it, it's a decent
No,
episode.
I'm not saying that your enjoyment is invalid. I'm just asking if, like, if you were
Oh,
watching this on your own and you had to sit through this, is it still good?
only if I can bitch to it to someone, you know? Or bitch about it to someone that, you know,
The material doesn't stand on its own, is what you're saying.
but it doesn't have to.
I mean, what are you talking about?
You know, sometimes it's just meant to be shared. For something like Kamen Rider, I would feel that is one of its intended purposes. You know, like all the little Japanese kids are like, "Oh, did you see that fucking awful episode of Saber?" And they bond together with it. I feel like that's probably one of its intended purposes. So, in that regard, I can scale it as a decent episode.
Its intended purpose is to bond Japanese children through mediocrity.
Oh man. I'm gonna. I recognize that you're just arguing it for the sake of arguing it, so I will let this go. Our last, is this the last one? Yeah, this is the last comment. Comes from Andy L, who says, "I really like the dimension logic leap these writers have. I really like the dimension logic leap these writers have. Info we knew from last episode, the book will consume the human when it is done. For whatever reason, the toast logic applies and save the woman." Oh, sorry. There's a smudge on my computer. It was blocking the N, and I was like, what is a woman?
The female Yeti.
First, created drama for the sake of drama. Have millions ways to explain Yuri can cut the monster out, but nope, not gonna say a thing. Second, so you are extra concerned with the woman's safety. And what is the plan? Let come up a plan that is most dangerous, and by the info you knew, will actually kill her. So just throw all concern out of the window. Just bet it on luck, I guess. Third, last week the Dragon Knight form's flame literally froze even if it was still firing out from the booster. This week, with a weaker form and just one layer of fire, just shield you off completely. I know you need to sell those mid-form books, but make it logical to use them at least. At last, please pay the electric bill, Southern Base. We know it is pandemic, but you have overdue for years now, and we know you have more host boys just come in. We will turn the light back on when you give us the check, Miss Reika. Thank you. I didn't know Andy L was the landlord for the Southern Base. That's really interesting. Also, yeah, it was really strange that, like, oh, hey, I keep getting frozen in literally any form that I use, but the book's popping out now, so I guess I better get out of this ice. And then he's done. Like, the ice is just gone.
Yeah.
Dragon is weak to ice, so it's totally fine. It makes perfect sense.
He got out of the ice! Magically!
No, because he was in his fire form.
Yeah.
I mean, technically they're all dragon forms, but shut up.
Oh. Okay, whatever. Anyway, yeah, alright. Are we good here? Are we done?
Yeah. We good.
Alright, cool. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the episode, hit the like button and subscribe if you want to hear more from us each week. Tell us in the comments down below what you thought about our thoughts about your thoughts about this episode, and also while you're down there, there are links to how you can help support the Black Lives Matter movement by donating money, signing petitions, and watching videos. Thank you so much for watching. Keep it. This is Backwards.
Yep. See ya.
Bye.
Whew.
I feel like the Knights of Logos that we know are just like lazy ass bums that just don't do as many missions as the other Knights of Logos.
Oh,
and
yeah,
like they're the
all
only
working.
ones who like actually take the time to just sit around